Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to our third quarter moon reading. It's the last reading. Of course, I could do a reading for the last, the waning crescent, right? The rest and restore energy. Maybe they will have me do that. But I feel like in terms of work, this is the last moon cycle of 2025 of work, because the 7th moon cycle is about transition and forgiveness. And I feel like it is time for us to transition out of this 2025 energy, forgive what was lost, what was never got, and have this sense of release and relief as we go into the rest and restore energy, because we will have a new moon on the 19th that will take us into 2026. So even though I'm like, oh, it's the last moon cycle, but you hear what I'm saying, right? Because we're going to have the new moon on the 19th, and we'll have the first quarter, but then we'll be going in, taking action, which is really cool because where's my calendar? I need that anyway. I'm like, I need that because it has our titles for our readings. Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is. So I want you to think about what it is you want to transition out of and leave behind in 2025, forgive, release, and let go. And have that energy when we're moving into the new moon in Sagittarius to take us into 2026. Sorry, I was trying to read for you guys and then read at the same time. So the first quarter moon is on the 27th, which is really rad because we're going to have a full moon in the first week of January. That's so amazing. Talk about celebrations and release. And I do understand the Gregorian calendar, like changing over, but I do kind of feel like it is never ending, because I feel like things aren't going to really shift for us until we shift out of the year of the snake and into the year of the horse. So that is something else very, very powerful. So anyway, I don't have much room on my phone, and it was interesting. I deleted so much shit, and I was like, are you kidding me? I feel like I should have had more. So when that happens, I feel like Spirit's like, you know what? We're going to get in and we're going to get out. Also, I fell asleep last night, or I was starting to get tired, and it was like 9 o'clock, and I was like, no, I'm going to stay up a little bit longer. Long story short, I ended up falling asleep on the couch. I woke up at like 3:42, and I never really went back to sleep. So in real time, I'd say forgive the rain, but I think there's something powerful about that cleansing energy too. Also, when I looked at the clock, it was 3 minutes and 33 seconds. I've been seeing that everywhere. My throat chakra is getting tight. Work with 333, okay? So that's for the collective, for us to work with angel number 333. Also, I just wanted to apologize in advance that it's getting into that transition of morning, where we're going to have a lot of morning traffic, but it's also the last of the log trucks are like hauling ass to make it to their destinations, because they get in trouble if they're like on the roads and stuff, like they get fined. And it's actually 6:57. So that last one I just heard, oh, interesting. Yeah, he was probably like on his way back. But anyway, because I think they're supposed to be done by like 5. So it's almost 7 a.m. But interesting that when I looked, it was 657, and it's still 657. So work with angel number 657 as well. Okay. So I'm going to choose the cards with you. Oh boy, I'm hearing them because it's the logging trucks, but also the semis. Like there's just certain hours. I live in a very beautiful place, but it's rural and it is seasonal for tourists and things like that. So the roads, these logging trucks and all these semis that are coming through here, like they have to be limited because our roads can only take so much, you know. We're on, especially over this area, we're in wetlands, and you know, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of gravel and stuff they have to put into the ground. Okay, so here we go. I feel like I heard Ramblin' Rose. By the way, I just want to in advance thank your guides and my guides, and thanks Spirit for, this is reading 1. Thanks Spirit for being here with us today. So that's reading 1. And I have titles for the readings, but they want me to pull the cards first. Okay, so just look at the cards. So that's reading 1. This is reading 2. By the way, we're using the Enchanted Unicorn Oracle with the Galactic Unicorns. This is one of my favorite decks of all time, the Priestess Moon, and we have number 3. And they're having me put it behind the pine cone. Because, you know, our eyes are attracted to certain things, so... And they want me to leave it in this lighting, but I am going to scoot the flash on for just a second because I feel like somebody needs it. So there we go. Ooh, maybe it's some of the crystals are talking to you guys, or maybe it's the candle flame. I don't know. Oh, I just got the chills all over my body. Oh, they said while the light is up, tell the tale. Also, for the collective on the bottom, it's in reverse. So I'll put it in the community section, or maybe they'll have me do a shorts for it. But number 15 is cherish. And the message is rediscover the sweetness of life. If they want me to put the book version in there, I will. Also, look at the Goddess Mother energy right here. Oh, so powerful. So powerful. Also, they're like showing my glitter nail polish. I'm hearing it's time to cherish yourself. 15 is also the number 6 if you add it together. So work with, for the collective. I feel like for 2006, like we're going to be working with the number 6 a lot in our healing sessions. Okay, so rediscover the sweetness of life. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. And for reading 1, so here we go. So it'll be 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And the title of reading 1. Now these get really cool, by the way. So let me take a sip of water. They get cool, meaning like, it's not just as if you've never been here, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back, especially to our All-Stars. Thank you for your support. And thank you guys so much for the donations and the early birthday presents. Thank you. I don't normally do this, but I am going to say it. My birthday's in 2 days. Yes, I share a birthday with Taylor Swift. We are birthday sisters. And very oddly, she's going to be 36, which is the number 9. And I'm going to be 54, which is the number 9. What? Yep, I know. And I'm a life past 7, and I think she is too, which is fucking crazy. I think she's a 7 or a 9. Anywho, I digress. So thank you so much. It is so awesome when you guys send me gifts and presents, especially the monetary ones, because I mean, today I was like, should I go to the food bank? They're like, you don't need to go to the food bank. I'm like, okay. And then like beautiful, I don't know if she wants a shout out or not, but I'm just gonna say one of our All-Stars sent me a nice little beautiful chunk of change, and I was like, dude, fucking thank you. So thank you. That kind of shit makes a difference. It, you know, it keeps the lights on, keeps food in my belly. So thank you. It is never expected, but always appreciated. And remember that prayer is free, and all of my information is in the description box if you would like to contribute. I have Venmo, I have PayPal, and I have an Amazon wish list. If you want to look through there and peruse and see if there are any decks in there that you would like us to use for 2026. Any insight that you would like to see. I'm feeling a lot of starseed energy and angelic energy too from our tribe, and I just heard fairies and witches, and of course, you know, there's so many. But anyway, okay, so thank you in advance. I just want to say thank you in advance, and then thank you for those of you who have already. Thank you. And it's so cool too, because so many of you guys are like so rad about sending me stuff that I get like before my birthday so I can open on my birthday. And all of you were like, I don't know if it's going to get there. I apologize, but it's interesting because like 3 of my all-stars sent me packages, and all of them I think are going to arrive at the same time, which is so interesting. So I think it's so cool, and it's going to be after my birthday, which I think is more fun because then I can like have like a little party with you guys, you know. So maybe they'll show up for the new moon, maybe they'll show up for, you know, Yule / winter solstice, but either way, I kind of feel like my birthday is the kickoff. Also, I didn't even realize this until recent years that my birthday is the 12 days of Christmas. Like my birthday's on the 13th, and then the 25th is like 12 days away. So like the 12 days of Christmas start after my birthday. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome. So I think I want to do something with spirit and do some type of reading every day for the 12 days of Christmas. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. And for reading 1, our title is We Need a Little Christmas, but it's from the Percy Faith album. And so I feel like it's about faith. So like maybe some of you guys are needing a little cheer. Maybe you need a little, you know, like what do you need to transition out of and forgive? Like, so let's go there. So that's gonna be fun. Reading 1. Reading 2 is I Got a Name by Jim Croce. You know, I just put on my shuffle on my music, and it was interesting because I was listening to Christmas music, went out of Christmas music and went into shuffle. And the first song that played was a Christmas music, and I thought I didn't hit shuffle, and I looked and it said shuffle, and so that's what made me laugh. But it said 2025 on there. Oh, when I just looked, it was 11:25, and we're talking about reading 1. What? Seriously. So again, if they call me to, I'll put in the community section some screenshots. But it was just fucking awesome because I was like, that's so interesting. But I thought that was interesting that it was talking about we need a little Christmas, meaning like you need a little cheer, maybe you need a little Jesus, maybe you need all of the above. I don't know. Maybe you need some faith. George Michael. But number 2, I Got a Name came up, Jim Croce. And I instantly felt like this is about maybe some of you, it's time to come out of, you know, hermit mode, retirement, whatever. Like it's time to let your spirit and your soul shine. Maybe you're meant to take I heard Taylor Swift in my head. So, you know, I could totally see her as like a Jim Croce energy, especially in her older years. I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up doing like some type of, you know, homage to like the 60s like folk singers that she loves so much. Anyway, okay, and then moving on, reading 3. Oh my gosh, I just got the chills all over my body because I always feel like the last reading is always like really our like fucking superpower house, fucking like crazy awesome wayward warriors. Okay, so your theme is the House of Dragon, which is doesn't fucking surprise me. That's amazing. It's the House of Dragon, but not only was it the House of Dragon, but they wanted me to say it was Queen Alicent's theme. So I don't even know what this is for. Again, I'll put screenshots, but the album was Epic Fantasy, and the song was it was the House of Dragon, but it was the epic version. So they use the word epic in both things. So that's pretty interesting. So without further ado, I'm hopping over to reading 1. It was 1317. 17 is a huge angel number for our tribe, which is also number 8. And 13, come on. And 13 is the number 4. It's all about stability and strength. But the last 2 things I want to talk about numerology before we head out is that today in real time is December 11th. And because December is a 3, 1 and 2, right? 12 is 3 and today is 11. That's a 5 number. I think it's interesting that we're doing this reading on the 3rd quarter moon. This date falls where 5 is about change and transformation and transition. And this is about transition and forgiveness. And it's also the 7th moon cycle, which 7 is about cycles as well, right? Like 7 days of the week. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on, right? And then we start again. So let's head over to your readings and see what they have to say. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. And like I said, if the donation box is not in your realm, that's okay. Prayer is free. And you know what? I believe in that energy, and I believe in you, and I believe in me. I love you. I'll see you over at your reading. Blessed be at home. Bye. Welcome, reading 1. When I looked down, it was 1426. So I believe that 1426 is also an angel number for you, or it has some meaning. Oh, it's also number 13. Oh my gosh, you guys, come on, which is the number 4. Okay, so today we are going to talk about you needing a little Christmas. If you didn't watch the intro where I described all the readings, I highly suggest you go back and do so, because there was a lot of awesome stuff in there. Angel numbers, numerology for the tribe for the end of this year and moving into 2026. So I highly recommend you go check that out. But if you don't, or you haven't, I just want to tell you that the reason why this theme came to be is because it wasn't just We Need a Little Christmas, but it was, the album said Christmas is ... and it was by an artist named Percy Faith. And I feel 1529, another angel number. If you're new here and I spout out numbers, that's what they are. It could be something else too. Remember, it's time, so it's semicolon, right? So it could be number 15, and 29 means something. Could be your birthday. It could be your age, you know. It could be mirrored. Maybe 15 is 51. I mean, I can go on and on and on, right? So whatever it means to you, you can add the numbers together, separate, you know, 9 and 2 is 11. But either way, I got the vibe that you guys need a little Christmas, man. Like, you need a little cheer. You need a little something. This is the 7th moon phase. It's about transition and forgiveness. Ooh, I just saw a spirit go through there. When we were pulling the cards and bringing things together, they only had me pull one card in the in the group. They only had me pull one card to represent. But I think that's really powerful, because I feel like it's like one at a time. So behind this card is what you are transitioning out of or need to transition out of. Ooh, look, it's in reverse. Interesting. Number 34, sex magic. Love, sex, and magic. Okay, but it was in reverse. So let's see what's going on there. And you know what? I'm actually going to bring it here so we can get you a little bit closer. And let's see what the forgiveness is. Wow, so many things are going through my mind right now, and we haven't even looked at the book or pulled your other card. So we're transitioning out of sex magic. You know, 34 is also the number 7, and we spoke about that in the group reading. That today is the 7th cycle. This is the 3rd quarter moon. It's about transition and forgiveness. So very interesting and very interesting. Okay. Oh shit. Hold on. I think they may, because the cards just flew everywhere, they may want me to, let me see if they want me to wait. Okay, they want me to wait. So I'm going to go into the book right now. Okay, pause at 1733 to go into the book. So that may be a number for you as well. Okay, so all of these have keywords, and then they also have some type of botanical element or something. It's like as above, so below, right? Like, so these are the galactic unicorns, but then they are also connected to the divine Gaia. So it says love, sex, and magic. And then that's the Latin name for the mandrake, which is a plant. Okay. And this says, the mandrake plant has been used since ancient Egyptian times as a symbol of love and sex. The mandrake root is said to resemble the human form, and because of this was used in medieval times as the main ingredient in powerful love spells. Mandrake has a sedative quality and was once used as an aphrodisiac, but it is now considered poisonous. Yikes, that Chuck. The mandrake was once referred to as Satan's apple. In medieval Europe, to own and care for a mandrake plant was thought to attract success and fertility. This intriguing plant has a long history of magic and sensuality. Here's the divination. This card portends exciting new relationships and flirtations. Sex magic encourages sensuality and physical pleasure without self-doubt or guilt. This card can indicate a fated meeting, a soul connection that was always meant to happen. There's a reason we feel a kinship to certain people, as they may be part of the soul group we belong to. Your spiritual tribe decided to come to Earth at the same time to achieve a higher goal. Allow yourself to explore these connections further. This unicorn foretells a chance meeting with an important person. The connection may be fleeting or long-lasting, but it will have an impact on your life. You can instantly feed. Where did that come from? Feel a past life connection with someone. Wow. No matter how this meeting happens, be assured that what is meant for you will come will come to you. That's beautiful. Okay, and then they always have like what they call like their unicorn magic. And it says the unicorn suggests lighting a candle in front of the sex magic card to start the powerful process of soul connection on a magical level. So you can either take a screenshot of this. Let me get back to that card so you can get a better. You can take a screenshot of that if that's, you know, feels better. But actually, you know what? Here, I'm trying to get it where you can see the love, sex, magic part, because I feel like that means something. Let me put this. Okay. Did you get a picture? Did you get a picture? There, it's a little darker. Look at, Anna gave us this. It's got the little half moon. Okay. All right. So you can take a picture of it or even draw it. You don't have to be Picasso. I just heard from, and also out of nowhere, I have heartburn, like really bad. Excuse me, which I don't normally burp and belch like that. Like that literally just like, I feel like something is like trying to escape from my heart. I feel like some of you, your heart chakra, that's what's happening right now. You've had a disconnect. And I can tell you right now from personal experience, you know, I'm at the end of menopause and it is not for the faint of heart and it changes everything. I mean, for me, some people are like, oh, I didn't have any issues with menopause. I'm like, oh, you're so lucky. I'm like, it was almost like textbook. I had like all the symptoms or all the things and it was really, really difficult. And I was not into sex and I was not wanting to be touched. And even when I wanted to have sex, my body did not want to have sex and it just changed everything. So it could be that if you're shifting and changing, you don't even have to be going through menopause. But if you're going through an awakening, you know, maybe you use sex, you know, as a tool to escape. Maybe you used it, you know, for joy, but you know, you're just not feeling that anymore. You know, you're not alone. There's a lot of things that are happening right now on the planet that, you know, it's hard to explain. Maybe you've lost your sex magic, your mojo, or maybe you were using it on someone and now your connection isn't there and you're like, what's happening? It's like because you're not abusing your magic anymore. You're not abusing, you know, and so when we stop abusing, especially for our natural witches out there, right? Like, and earth angels, we don't even, when you don't know who and what you are, you're just using, you know, your wiles, right? Like what you think is like, oh, you know, whether you find yourself attractive sexually or, you know, whatever, you know, it's like people use things differently. Ow, that was my foot. But whatever this is, I feel like and also I'm hearing like there's a disconnect between love and sex and magic, which is why they're like the words are separate, if that makes any sense. So let's see what we need to forgive in order for you to transition out of this energy. Because I do feel like some of you have been, unfortunately, I don't want to say this to be a jerk, but I feel like you guys have really been abusing it. And I know I have too. I've had a lot of come to Jesus moments, right? Like or literally Jesus was like, dude, I get it. You know, I was in the flesh. I was there. I know. So the forgiveness is number 24. All souls do it. They just said, no matter what magic you have or how much power you have, everybody does it. Life is meant to be enjoyed. But when I pulled it, it was upside down. And these cards are kind of like all over the place. And it doesn't have a reverse meaning. But I think maybe you've been having a hard time forgiving yourself. Or maybe you're starting to realize like how much power you really have. And that is something like showing your power to the world is something that is not easy for you. But I feel like, you know what's interesting is I feel like I keep wanting to move this over because I feel like this is some type of portal. Tomorrow is the 12/12 portal. I feel like this is why they wanted me to do this now. And obviously whenever you watch this, it's timeless. But if you happen to watch this, like even if this message is for one person that's going to see this before the 12/12 portal, I want you to research 12/12 portal. And like, there's so many things that you could do during the 12/12 portal. It's the last portal of the year. And because it's amplified, you know, like 12, 12, and 1 and 2 is 3, 3, 3. Interesting that when we spoke about this, I got from Spirit that 333 was our angel number to work with. We spoke about that at the beginning of this in the group little session. And I definitely feel like 333 is going to be a big number for you as well. Now, it's interesting because number 34, sex magic, is 7, and all souls is number 24, which is a 6. And 6 and 7 is 13, and we spoke about 13 at the beginning of this. It's 13 is 4 when you add it together. It's about finding your balance and your chi again. So research 1212 portal energy, and even if you watch this after, you can still work with that energy and access it. It's just more powerful when you do it on the day, you know? So also my throat chakra is like getting really tight. I'm feeling like this kind of, I'm feeling self-care, like really taking care of yourself. And I feel like this is a message for me too. So those of you who work with your voice, whether it's just through talking, singing, you're an orator, you know, whatever, maybe you're a narrator, maybe you do audiobooks, whatever it is. I'm hearing it's time to take better care of your voice and know when and where, and certain foods, like being cognizant of pairing together certain foods, because certain foods will like disrupt your belly and your chi, and that whole thing like fucks with your voice too. So I'm hearing about a reset with your diet and your self-control. Also, you know what's really cool is if you look through this deck, they all have, I mean, this is at the bottom of the deck, right? And I don't know if this is for you or not, but either way, but do you see how it's just like one? They don't always have like their arms open. I think it's interesting that both of these cards have their arms open. So I feel like you're open to love, you're open to magic, you're open to these things, but I feel like you're kind of lost, and Spirit's like, you know what? Start from the bottom up, like your root chakra. You know what I mean? Like start from the bottom up. Get your chakras balanced, get your auric field balanced, make sure you're cleaning your house, smudging your house, you know, self-care, taking care of your voice, not talking, you know, when you shouldn't be talking. I just heard nettle tea. That literally came out of nowhere, so I don't take anything as like nothing, right? So nettle tea, okay? Nettle tea, Nettle. Now listen, the nettle plant, if you touch it, it stings and it sucks, but the tea is really awesome. And if you want to get a really good source and if you have something close to you, like a co-op or something that you know where it's sourced from, it doesn't have any pesticides or things like that on it. If you know that, then get it from there. If not, Mountain Rose Herbs is one of my favorite companies. They're out of Oregon, and they have been working for a long time to bring, you know, awareness to like the healing medicines and properties of the earth. And I really highly recommend their products. Also, towards the end of the year, they have like really big sales. And anyway, so check it out. Okay, so let's get to your card, number 24, All Souls. Okay, I was going to say love is meant to be enjoyed, but it says life is meant to be enjoyed. There's no Freudian slip. Love is meant to be enjoyed. And here's, it's from the goji berry. Now listen, goji berries are super healthy, but I learned the hard way. If you eat too many, you can get really sick and fuck up your body. So be careful, okay? But if you can, eat goji berries, work with goji berries. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to get some sweet nettle or nettle tea, and goji berries. So it says, sweet and rich goji berries, plump little red jewels, are considered a superfood. Another name for this little fruit is the wolfberry. They have been used in Chinese medicine for thousands of years to improve liver health. On a metaphysical level, the goji berry encourages longevity, vitality, and youth. Interesting. Also, I heard from Spirit, like maybe you were using more of like, you know, it's like manifestation is good, but it's also like when you have certain, you know, powers and gifts, right? With great strength comes great responsibility. So if you have like really powerful gifts and you're like using them, you know, for your advantage, it's like you have to learn how to use it and not take anybody's power, because whatever we put out into the world comes back to us too. That's what the karma and the dharma balance is. So, you know, it's, if you're taking power away from somebody, I feel like Spirit's like, here, it's like, you're like, but I'm open and free. I just want to give love to everybody. They're like, yeah, but see how they're like, they're not rooted. It's like their roots are out of, they're like, it's like they've outgrown the pot. And I feel like for some of you, like what you need to transition out of is something that you've outgrown, and it's going to be different for all of you, but it's time to move on. And because you've outgrown that, and to work more on this, like for everybody, that it's not just for you. And you could be somebody who is in like a survivor mentality, you know, and this isn't even just about money. This could be about like, you know, you could be raised with all the money in the world, but if you don't have parents who love you or accolades, or you know what I mean? I mean, look at this sitting American president. That is literally the result of abuse. That's the result of abuse. And we know that he said it, and there's been books written about it, that his father was cold and harsh, and you know what I mean? It's like, that's why, right? Because people amplify and mirror back to the world what they want or what they're missing, or things that were said to them, or things that they think about themselves. You know, people are like, oh, he's a narcissist. I'm like, yeah, but that's the whole sad part about a narcissist, is deep down they really don't love themselves. They don't like themselves. And that's why it's not that you are born a narcissist, right? Like, it's an energy, it's a personality that you like take on, a persona, but it's hiding. It's part of the ego. It's part of the shadow. So they haven't worked through that yet. And I feel like for you guys, you are pulling out of that. Even here, I feel like the eyes kind of remind me of like a zombie or something, where this, it's like the eyes kind of seem zombie, but they more look like stars in their eyes, right? And like, this is just all about happy growth. I just feel like it just feels good. I don't know how to explain it, but interesting that this energy is going back to that energy. I almost feel like it's like you're about to merge together. It's like they're about to hug like long lost friends. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, okay. So it says, there's a saying, hold on, let me get in closer. There's a saying in Italy, la dolce vita, the good life. And it's a philosophy of living a life full of pleasure and joy. We each get about 100 years on this earth if we are lucky. So why not make the most of it? There's that throat chakra again. In the big scheme of things, this is such a short amount of time. After all, our life on earth is meant to be a temporary experience. This unicorn appears with a message from those who have gone before us. Life is meant to be enjoyed. The physicality of the human body is designed to experience many wonderful things here on this planet. All souls, hold on, I feel like something is stabbing me in my back. It's fucking weird, and I'm sitting up, like there's nothing behind me. I had to like scratch it. It literally felt like somebody was sticking a pin in me. That could be a dark force that doesn't want you to change or doesn't want you to get out of this, because it literally came out of nowhere. It was weird. Okay. And very uncomfortable. And I'm sorry you had to sit through it, but I'm sorry if that's what you're feeling too. Maybe you're, I don't know what's going on, but anyway, that doesn't happen often, but I speak it when it's happening. So let me start over. We each get about 100 years on this earth if we are lucky, so why not make the most of it? In the big scheme of things, this is such a short amount of time. After all, our life on earth is meant to be a temporary experience. This unicorn appears with a message from those who have gone before us. Life is meant to be enjoyed. The physicality of the human body is designed to experience many wonderful things here on this planet. All Souls reminds you that deprivation, stinginess, denial, and self-judgment are counterproductive, and to foster a more carefree, joyful, and playful energy. Have faith, remember? Many forms of self-abnegation, such as restrictive or punishing regimes, working long hours, or saying yes to things here that you want to say no to, right? You hate, maybe a type of approval-seeking behavior based on a guilt or a fear of judgment. No one is getting off this earth alive, and many fit is why am I having a hard time talking and you're reading? It's like you guys don't want to fucking let it go. Let it go. This is what you need to transition out of and forgive. Let it go. Forgive yourself. Forgive everybody else. Who cares? Let go of judgment. They did that to you. Fuck them. That's okay. Let them. It's their karma. It's not yours. How you respond to it, that is you. No one is getting off this earth alive, and many metaphysical texts state that humans take themselves far too seriously, which is so true. Relax. and start to do the things you truly love to do with your life, even if it means spending a little more time and money on long cherished dreams. The unicorn magic is the unicorns bring you a recipe for a little love charm, but this is a self-love charm and a reminder to be kinder to yourself. Yes, I want you, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to start a journal today. If you don't have one, go out and get one tomorrow. I don't like to plug the dollar stores, but I know when I was having a rough time, I went and spent $10 and bought like a bunch of journals and some glitter pens and some coloring books, and it changed everything for me. Self-affirmations. Right now, as I'm literally giving you this reading, I can look up and I have, look at, this is right on top of my thing. I'm a beautiful soul. I am magic. These Post-its help. I am royalty, right? I'm an earth angel. I'm royalty. Oh, that one's inside. But this is another good one. I'm a millionaire. But the one inside says, there is 7,144,000 in our bank account. And I've been saying these affirmations and things have been coming to me. I literally thought I was going to have to go to the food bank today or yesterday. I thought I was going to have to go to the food bank. And then like one of you guys like sent me $50 and I was like, thank you, goddess. Spirit's like, don't go to the food bank. People really need it right now. It's going to be okay. And bam, showed up. They're like, happy early birthday, because my birthday's in a few days. I was like, dude, that's fucking rad, you know? So don't put these like expectations of like the past. Transition out of that old energy and allow this new energy to come in and heal you. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And remember, Christmas is not just about like the commercialism. I do think that the Jesus in the Christmas is the Christ conscious energy. It's not about Jesus' birthday. It's about the Christ conscious energy of loving and giving and not expecting anything in return. And when we don't expect anything, that's when things come in. It's amazing. So allow yourself to receive. Say, I allow myself to receive. I am abundant. Now make your own mantras. I believe in magic and miracles. I say that all the time. There's this new guy I started following and he's really powerful. He's an abundance guy and I really like his energy. And he went live the other day and I was called to go on there. And I wrote a few things on there, you know, of support. And he's like, you know, shout out where you're from. I like to see, you know, it's really fun. He's like, Egypt, cool. Like, you know, it was fun. I think he was in LA. But anyway, Spirit told me to write on there. My mantra is, I believe in magic and miracles. People, tons of people are, you know, writing stuff, whatever. And he goes, my mantra is, I believe in magic and miracles. He goes, oh, I like that. He's like, thank you. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't even realize like these little things that we do to inject, that plant seeds into the world. You're planting seeds all the time. You've just outgrown this past, right? Like leave it behind. 2026 is a year of opportunity and possibility. And I don't think it's an accident that we're, you know, talking about 2026 and we're using the galactic unicorns. I mean, galactic unicorns are in the horse family. February 17th comes in the year of the horse, but we're still in that shedding our skin snake energy. We've got a few more months of doing that. So you've got time to work on it, you know, but Spirit's saying, be cognizant of what you need to transition out of and what you need to forgive. All right, you guys, I believe those are your messages. Do we have any more messages or channeled messages for reading one before we move on? Nope, those are your messages, you guys. I love you so much. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, I do work on a sliding scale. My email is magicalmedium@gmail.com. It's in the description box. It also has my Venmo, my PayPal, my Amazon wish list. And remember that prayer is free. I never expect anything except for the love of the exchange of energy. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. I love you. Blessed New Year, blessed holiday season. I'll see you next time. Oh, bye. Welcome to our third quarter moon reading, transition and forgiveness. If you did not watch the intro video, which was a little group download from Spirit and also the introduction to each reading and a little description of each reading. I highly suggest you check it out. If not, you probably noticed already that your title of your reading is I Got a Name by Jim Croce. If you don't know the song, they'll either have me put in the description box, or I highly recommend that you seek it out, because Jim Croce is an amazing storyteller, a great writer. And when I was putting your reading together, I definitely got the vibe that it's time for you guys to put yourselves out there. Like, really put yourselves out there. Because you have something to say. You don't just have a name, you have something to say. And it's going to be individual for each one of you. But I do want to see that if you chose this reading, there must be something that you collectively in reading two need to transition out of and need to move forward and forgive. So what you need to transition out of is, oh, number 8. Ooh, interesting. Is that a powerful number for you? And look at this. Looks like a mountain to me. Number 8, hedgerow, let it go. So you need to transition out of letting things go. And every reading's different. So I just want to see if there are any cards. In the first reading, they had me go through the first card first before the transition card, before I went into forgiveness. But yours felt different. And the fact that I'm shuffling right away tells me that. Okay, so you need to transition, right? Like letting it go and forgive. Don't be so serious. Number 17, myrrh. Oh, mirth. Is myrrh and mirth the same thing? But that's interesting. And look at the bottom. Look at the pentagram and the moons here. I'm definitely getting, and I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm getting a lot of ego from this card. And maybe it's something that you held in the past, you know, because it's about transition and forgiveness. So if the card on the left is transition and the card on the right is forgiveness, and they're saying, don't be so serious, what were you taking too seriously? But also, you know what I like about the forgiveness is I feel like the other side of that picture is, because it says I've got a name. Look at how they're looking down before I even go into the book. Look at how they're kind of like, it looks like they're almost like looking down, like kind of like their horn is pointed more downward, right? And this one, they're like straight up, their arms open. So it could be letting go what you're transitioning out of, and what you need to let go of is hiding. Because I feel like you've been hiding. It almost feels like this is like, see how they're blending in like camouflage? It's like you've been trying to blend in like you're normal. They're like, they're like, do you see who you really are? Like, you're so far from normal. It's crazy. They're like, and you're not supposed to be normal. There's no such fucking thing as normal. Anyway, whatever that means. Oh, and it started raining harder. But it's beyond that. Like, you're just like, you're supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Like, literally that word just came out. Dick Van Dyke just turned 100. I love him. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If not, it doesn't matter, but he's amazing. Let me ask Spirit, because I have to say, like, I'm getting this vibe that I don't know if they want me to go into the book, or if they do, I feel like it's only one. Do you want me to go into the book for both cards? Do you want me to go into the book for number 8, hedgerow? Yeah, I kind of feel like I didn't feel an energy to go into the book. Interesting, by the way, when I opened up the book, it was opened at number 28, ignite. So it could be that it's time for you to ignite your fire, ignite your passion. And it says opportunities and possibilities. I feel like once you let go of this, we're going to go into the book and find out more. But I feel like once you let go of this, it's like all of this will be yours. I mean, look at that. And I feel like it's also like their chakras are in balance. They're in alignment. You know what I mean? Like they're good. All is well. So good. Their crown chakra is so healthy that they have a fucking flower growing out of it. But also the scales on the bottom makes me feel like a mermaid, like that you're like one of a kind, like there's nobody like you, right? Like, I mean, there's nobody like anybody, right? But of course there's a reason why some people are famous and some people aren't. They're not meant to be famous, not in this lifetime. And fame doesn't mean that you are special. You know what I mean? It's like, that doesn't mean anything. It just means you're famous. It just means that whatever you're doing, whatever you came here to do, you know what I mean, is like Taylor. We were talking about Taylor Swift a lot. She's my birthday sister. My birthday's in a few days. And, you know, we were talking about it in the beginning about just like, you know, I just watched her Stephen Colbert interview, and I really hope he does these Colbert questionnaires, and I really hope it's something that he's holding on to, that he's going to put out like over Christmas or something, because but Taylor might say no. I mean, but it's really cool. And if you don't know the Colbert questionnaire, like, research it. They're so good. And it's so fun to watch all these different artists, from Julia Roberts to Jeff Bridges to, you know, I watched so many, but, you know, and just he asked them all the same questions, and it's interesting to see how, like, you get to know them, you know. But anyway, I digress. And maybe this is about you. Maybe you're just afraid to, like, put yourself out there. You don't want people to, like, really know you. Maybe you're wearing masks. Also, drink some water. Speaking of mermaid, and you could be you could be a water sign, or maybe you have a lot of water in your chart. Okay, so hedgerow. So all of these cards have these galactic unicorns, right? And then they have a representation of something from Earth. And this one it says refreshing and uplifting peppermint. Is that what hedgerow is? Is that what peppermint is? See what does hedgerow mean? They're going to get to it. So see how it says right here, peppermint. That's so interesting. I love, because my birthday is December 13th, I love mint and chocolate. It's like, because I used to get that kind of, you know, it's that time of year kind of thing. And I had this mint chocolate candy bar last night, and it was so good. And it was peppermint. That's so interesting. Anyway, okay. Refreshing and uplifting peppermint encourages clarity and inspiration. It is also associated with friendship, healing, and compassion. The peppermint plant has a high menthol content, around 40%, and is used medicinally to relax muscles and clear headaches. Peppermint tea is the perfect solution if you're feeling under the weather. On a metaphysical level, peppermint cools down hot heads and allows for a more considered approach. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to get yourself some peppermint tea, fresh tea. I spoke about this in one of the others. If you have something local where you can get it, that's awesome. If not, I really love Mountain Rose Herbs. They don't support, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things, like, but I would check them out. They are really, really good. And their stuff is good, reasonable prices. And it's all like no pesticides, no chemicals. Anyway, okay. Because if you get that kind of peppermint tea from like the store that's been sitting, if you can get fresh peppermint, you know, if you can't, you know, at least buy it from like somebody at the store that is organic, or, you know, doesn't have plastics and shit in it. Okay, here we go. Divination. It's wonderful to care for others and want what is best for them. And it's tempting to want to help others when we can see a better way. But unless people specifically ask for your assistance, mind your own business. We are all given a body to experience life on earth, and every person gets to choose what they do with their own bodies and lives. As hard as it can be to sit back and say nothing, this card appears when you want to interfere and really shouldn't. The hedgerow unicorn gently reminds us that wild things grow at their own pace and in their own time. You may be itching to offer advice, thinking you know what is best for someone, but only they can make that decision. If you do want to help, send a friend or family member some gentle emerald-colored healing light for them to use in any way that's needed. By the same token, perhaps someone wants you to get involved in a situation that just isn't your problem, one that you are not responsible for. Imagine being protected by the emerald light as it becomes a beautiful energy boundary through which only good filters. In this case, we are reminded to live and let live. Unicorn magic. Also, before we get into the unicorn magic, I haven't seen the second Wicked yet. I'm really excited. I think I'm going to go next week, but Anyway, I think it's interesting that it's pink and green. Is pink is Glinda and green is the Wicked Witch, right? But both of those colors represent the heart chakra. And if you notice in your card, they're green. So I feel like you're somebody that they're like, you know, be more heart-centered. Don't be so serious. Don't take on other people's problems. Like, their problems are theirs. You know, like, be like, I don't want to get involved. And if you used to, be like, you know what, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm doing my best to change. And if people don't like that, let me tell you something. I lost a lot of friends and a lot of family when I started saying no. And I realized, because I wasn't just the friend that they wanted to, you know, to bend an ear, a sympathetic ear. They also wanted somebody to gossip with. And I'm like, I don't want to gossip about people. I don't want to talk about people. Or I wouldn't say anything. They'd be like, how come you're not saying anything? I'm like, because I don't want to talk about them. And they're like, oh God. And I'm like, oh God. I'm like, well, I don't want to fucking talk about people. So, you know, so stand your ground there. Okay. Ask the unicorns to find the perfect peppermint item to help you to relax. Yay! Let go and find clarity. This could be some peppermint essential oil, a gorgeous soap, some peppermint tea, or even peppermint ice cream. Yummy. Allow the cooling peppermint aroma to fill your senses and assure you that you are a good person with a good heart, but you do not need to take on other people's problems. Bam! So that's what you need to let go of. That's what really needs to let go of, you know? And again, if someone is like, oh, they did this to me, it's like, you know what, and especially, you know, what's the craziest thing is, like, if you're really happy and someone's not happy, and then they're like, how can you be happy? I'm going through so much. And you're like, yeah, but like, I'm sorry that's happening to you, but it's not happening to me. That doesn't make you a dick because you're not like mourning with them, right? Like, obviously, if it's affecting you too, you do, right? But people, it's like, you can be empathetic and sympathetic, but you don't like take on their problems, right? Like, you don't take on their energy. Their energy is their energy. Your energy is your energy, you know? And you have a name. You have something to do here. You have something very important to do here. If you're not doing it already, you have something important to do here. So it's time to let that go in 2025. You're no longer going to be the sounding board, the free therapist, that, you know what I mean? You want to talk about feelings, whatever, write them down. Write in your journal, write in your notebook, you know, write something every day that you're grateful for. Shift and change your mindset and your perspective, and everything else will change. I guarantee you. I promise. I promise. Let's see. Okay, Spirit, do we have any more messages for reading 2 at this time? Would you like me to read out of the book for number 17? Nope. They're like, you don't need that right now because you heard the messages. All right, you guys, until next time, I love you so much. And if you would like some insight for the following year, some personal insight, and you would like to work with me, you can email me at magicalmedium@gmail.com. That is in the description box. And I also have forms of contribution if you would like to do that as well. And thank you to those of you. I already got notifications. I've got like 3 packages on the way, and I just got a beautiful donation last night for my birthday. Thank you so much, you guys, a financial donation. So I have Venmo, I have PayPal, I have my Amazon wish list. And remember that prayers are free, and it's literally about the exchange of energy. So if that is not in your wheelhouse to do so, sending a prayer my way for abundance or the happiest birthday of my life, that's awesome and that's good. And remember, always send good energy. If you send anything that's not, and there's anywhere that's the opposite of that, remember that that energy will come back to you. So no matter what, because sometimes, you know, I'll watch a reading and I'll see somebody will put in the description box, not on my channel, but like I've seen on other channels where people will blame the reader for, like, you know, thanks for ruining my day. And it's like, number one, you're responsible for your feelings. Number two, that reader is like not, it's like you're in a group of people. It's a pick a reading. It is a group reading. It is not a one-on-one reading. So do not take things personally. And, you know, it's like, if you don't like something that comes out in the reading or it affects you in a negative way, that means that's something for you to work on. I don't know who that's for, but it must be for at least one person. Anyway, I love you, because I just heard envy when I looked over here, and they're saying envy is something you need to really let go of. Let it go. It's such an ugly, ugly, ugly emotion, because you're trying to not only steal someone else's thunder or their energy, but it's like not being happy for them reflects on you, you know? Instead, it's like, if you're happy for somebody, that happiness comes back to you. you know? So maybe this is for some of you too, like where your energy flows, you know what I mean? That's where it goes. So if you've got negative thoughts about yourself or other people, turn that fucking, you know, frown upside down, flip the script and say, you know what? I love them. Whatever they're going through, that's what they're going through. You know, you can tell somebody, even if someone's like, I hate your fucking guts, you're like, I love you, man. I love you. And you know, how they respond is how they respond, but send them love back. Because if somebody is spewing so much venom, I feel like there's one person here that's really struggling with somebody that is just a son of a bitch. I don't normally say things like this, but I'm really sorry. But I just feel like it's somebody who's just like really nasty, or like you're afraid of them or whatever. I had somebody like that, and I had a few people like that in my orbit, but there was definitely one that that there were other people in our orbit that were like, you know, you better be mindful, you know, if you say the wrong thing to them or you whatever, like they will flip on you. And I was like, okay, you know, and they did. And then like I found them like trying to get people to not like me and all that. And I was like, whoa, wow, what's going on? Some people, they may age, but they don't grow up. And remember that. Okay. So their shit and their venom has nothing to do with you. It's their inadequacy, their judgment, all that stuff about themselves. So let that go. You don't have to hold on to that. Okay. I love you. Spirit loves you. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Well, welcome, reading 3. Oh, did you see that spirit go into the screen? Okay, so literally as I started putting your reading together, I heard dun 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 dun. Yeah, so like fucking Star Wars. I'm pretty sure that was like Darth Vader's. So what is going on? Because your theme is the House of Dragon, but it's the Queen Alicent's, I think that's her name, theme. And it was, the album was Epic Fantasy, and the song was, what was that? Epic, hold on, I can't even read my own writing. Epic, the epic version. So it was the House of Dragon, but it was the epic version. So there's definitely like something here. And I feel like I want to go like, I feel like I want this screen to go darker like this. Like there's something there. Maybe you meant to look at like the lights and a galaxy far, far away. Listen, I had a situation with a gentleman at a store, and he was wearing these really nice Star Trek pins, like metal, like they weren't just like a little pin that says I love Star Trek, right? Like this was like a guy that was, so you could just see how much he believed in it, and it was like part of his world. And we started talking. It was a fucking grocery store at a checkout, at a self-checkout on a busy day. And long story short, I ended up holding this guy in my arms because he was really concerned about what's happening on the planet. And he's like, we're in the Fourth Reich, and don't you understand what's happening? And I was like, dude, listen to me. I'm like, stop. He was like wigging. And I stopped him and I said, I put my hand over his heart where the pins were, and I looked him in the eyes and I said, you don't believe in this for nothing. I'm like, you need to believe in this now more than ever. I'm like, do you believe in this? And he's like, his eyes started to well up in tears. He had to have been in his 60s. And I said, then you have to believe. I said, because right now is what we need. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. And that's what I was saying to him. I'm like, don't go into this fucking Darth Vader mindset. I get the Star Wars and Star Trek aren't the same, just so you guys know. I do know, I know the difference. But what I'm saying is, right, but it's still that same kind of like outer world, outer realms that are not in this one. And so, you know, I'm like, you obviously believe in that. So you're connected to that. Maybe you were from Lyra and your planet blew up, and like, you know what I mean? Like there's so many things. People have come here to help, and not everybody has fully awakened. But I realized in that moment that I was meant to kind of like bring him into that awakening state where I was like, remember who you are. Remember why you're here. And Spirit's like, you fucking bitches are from the House of the Dragon. Wake up. Wake up. You are from the House of the Dragon. Listen. You are royalty. I am royalty. I spoke about this in one of the other readings. I have Post-its all over. And if that's what you need to do too, and you're having a really hard time, do it. I've got extra Post-its if you need some. I'll mail them to you. I'm serious. I have like a ridiculous amount of Post-its. I bought this thing on Amazon. I don't know why I have so many, but you know, these things make a difference. Mind over matter, talking to yourself, telling, you know, you have to remember that you are in charge of your brain, not the other way around. The brain doesn't fucking, you know, control you. You control your brain. You control your thoughts. When you get a negative thought or something starts going dark or you don't believe in your magic and your gifts, you know, that's when you push those aside, right? Because I saw something recently and it was so powerful. I'm paraphrasing, but it said something like, for those of you who are having so much power in Christ or something, or you're seeking, you know, whatever, and they were like, remember that as hard as you believe God is fighting for you, they're like, the devil's fighting through just as hard, right? But what they really mean, because, you know, I don't know if I believe in that whole thing, although I do believe in Lucifer and that's whole other thing, but, and he's a very beautiful soul. So is Jesus. They're like Jesus, Lucifer, and Archangel Michael have been like my three like confidants for since I can remember. Like they just protect me. They're all around me. It's like, it's almost like I feel like Jesus is the boss of the light and like Lucifer is the boss of the shadow, and like Michael's in the middle, like as the balance protector, just making sure everybody fucking keeps to their job. You know what I mean? Just gets their shit straight. So, but what they were saying was like, and I've said this to you guys before too, right? Like, it's not just with the great strength comes great responsibility. It's also like, just as much as the light is vying for you, so is the shadow, right? Like, they don't want you to win. Even if it was created for you to win, it's not about that. This is about your, right now, like, and we're in the Sagittarius energy. And I'm feeling a lot of fire. This is a carnelian. If you guys can, get yourself a carnelian. I feel like you need it. My eyes like were really, really drawn to it. Maybe you need just like the power, like, but I'm just feeling, you know, today is, it's also, here's like, that's the third quarter moon right here. We're in transition and forgiveness. That's what the third quarter moon is all about. So I feel like it's time for you to transition out of whatever this card is. We're going to pull it in a second, and then we're going to pull the other card for the forgiveness and see what it is that you need to. This is it. This is our last like full moon reading, meaning like our full moon cycle. You know, the new moon in Sagittarius starts on the 19th and the first quarter moon is on the 27th, but we won't have the full moon until January. So to have a crossover moon, and the moon, having the Sagittarius moon going into Capricorn is really powerful too, right? So especially we're going into a fire, the year of the fire horse, February 17th. And then we're starting the new year in a fire moon. And there's something really fucking powerful about that. So let's hop in and see what your card is. So this is what we're transitioning out of. Oh, look at love without judgment. Oh, good. So you're transitioning out of judgment. And number 16, which is also number 7. Today is the 7th moon cycle. And we spoke about this. If you didn't watch the group reading, I highly recommend you watch it. It was really short. It was just like a little bit of some messages from spirit and some angel numbers and just a lot of cool stuff. Anyway, it'll be in the description box, so check it out if you didn't watch it. But I think it's interesting because today is also a 5-day, because it's the 11th. In real time, it's December 11th, 2025. And when you add December 11th and 2025, it comes out to the number 5. And 5 is about change, transformation, transition. So I think it's interesting. I think reading, if you're drawn to reading 1, you might want to go check it out, because 7, their first card came out to a 7 as well. Okay, but also I love this because I mean that is like heart chakra city, and look at their confidence with their hands on their hips. You know, I have had this deck for a long time. This has been happening to me recently where I'm like, I don't know if I'm changing or I just haven't seen these decks in so long, but I don't ever remember seeing this card, like ever. And this was one of my favorite decks when in the early years, I used this deck a lot. And I swear to you on all that is holy, I don't ever remember seeing this card, but it's awesome and I love it. So let's see if they want us to grab your second card. Sometimes they want us to do that right away. No. So we're going to jump into the book. Number 16. Move this out of the way. Okay. Oh, look at that. I was on 16 and then 15 popped up. Maybe some of you need this. Maybe you need Orris Mojo. 1 tablespoon of ground orris root, 3 drops jasmine oil, 1 small bay leaf, 1 small drawstring bag. Place all ingredients inside the drawstring bag and keep this mojo in your bra or pocket. The beautiful scent will remind you that you are not obligated to give your precious time and energy away to anyone. Interesting. Maybe you're in fear of judgment if you don't give people what they want, because I literally was holding the book open to 16 and in the 2 seconds that I put it down, it went to this. So this is from number 14, which is also number 5. And then next to it is Cherish, Rediscover the Sweetness of Life. So there must be something there. You know, I don't believe in accidents. So here we go. Here is your card. Love without judgment. And every card has their own galactic unicorn, but then they also have like some connection to the earth. And this one is about lettuce. Interesting. Maybe it's about changing your diet. At first sight, the lettuce might not seem to be the obvious choice for a beautiful bouquet, but its gorgeous pearly green leaves have their own beauty reminiscent of the color of the heart chakra. It is such a versatile plant in both the culinary and medicinal worlds. The humble lettuce is excellent for brain health, reduces anxiety, and supports healthy sleep. On a metaphysical level, lettuce encourages love and compassion. Beautiful. The divination is, Anahata is the Indian Sanskrit word for the heart chakra, meaning unstuck. Oh, unstruck. I heard unstuck. Who needs to get unstuck? Somebody needs to get unstuck. Meaning unstruck or unbeaten. It is located in the center of our physical heart and lungs. The heart always seeks unity, peace, and inclusiveness. Its key words are kindness, generosity, and respect for all living things. The Anahata unicorn welcomes an opening of the heart, especially in a situation where you may be tempted to close it down. Someone may have hurt you or this is what's going on, or made you angry, and your first instinct is to hurt them back. Anahata asks you to imagine what you would say to this person if you knew they only had 1 day left on this earth. Oh, you guys, my throat chakra is tight like a fucking, like I feel like I need a key to open it. Oh my gosh, what is happening? So, and you guys, that's for all of us. Isn't that powerful? Isn't that powerful? Right? Because we're not the sum of all of our deeds. And I feel like that's powerful. That's so powerful. I don't even know what to say how powerful that is. Wow. You may find your ire softens and you are more likely to forgive them. You may begin to focus on all their positive qualities and their innate goodness. These beautiful thoughts will lighten your heart, bring compassion, and help ease the burden of stuck and heavy emotions. Perhaps you are someone who is easily hurt and feel the keen sting of others' behaviors more than you should. The following visualization can help. Here's your unicorn magic. The unicorns bring you this meditation to teach your heart resilience. Take 3 very deep breaths. Here, if someone wants to get a screenshot, I'm trying to get a good... Okay. Also, this was in reading 2. So if you are drawn to reading 2, or maybe they're just trying to say to you, don't be so serious, right? Don't be so angry. The unicorns bring you this meditation to teach your heart resilience. Take 3 very deep breaths and imagine a beautiful green crescent moon curved around your heart chakra. The points of this moon arc up to each shoulder, while the thickest part of the crescent creates a beautiful glowing shield that protects your heart and makes it resilient and strong. Carry a rose quartz crystal with you and keep it close to your heart area, thinking of this radiant green crescent shield often. This will help you to love humankind freely and without judgment. Number 68 is the number 14, which is also the number 5. Also, I was really drawn to this candle being there. So I feel like maybe it's time for you guys to, have some candle energy around you. Use some, good candle magic, lighting candles for people. I do that. If someone is being a pill or they're, whatever, like I just will light them a candle and say, thank you, Spirit, for bringing them, something good, or, because it sounds crazy, but all of us, we all deserve forgiveness, even the most horrible deeds. Because even if someone, because you have to remember, if someone's doing that, that something really horrible must have happened to drive them to that point. We don't always know why. When I see these things and they talk about serial killers or like, more horrible child stuff or whatever, they're like, oh, but they had a perfect childhood. Nothing was wrong. I'm like, how do you know that though? Like, you don't really know that, because sometimes, a kid could have a, quote unquote, perfect child life, idyllic, parents or whatever. But if there are, like somebody at school or, like, especially like young boys that were abused by priests, like that went on, not saying they didn't do it to girls, but that was like a big thing that was going on, with this pedophilia in the church and grooming these boys. And it was a very, my throat chakra is really tight. It was a very disturbing energy, but it's like a lot of them were terrified to tell their parents because they thought, well, this is for God. My parent, or they would say, don't tell your parents, they wouldn't understand. This is between you, me, and God. You know what I mean? So it's like, who knows, like, why they become that? But like the rage, the hate, the torment, the shame, like all that stuff gets buried. So, just forgive. We must forgive everybody, right? It's like Jesus, like turning the other cheek. Okay, so this is what you're transitioning out of, and now this is what you need to work on forgiving. Oh, this card like stuck to my fingers. Number 13, tubular bells, patience and trust. Maybe you haven't had patience and trust. And maybe that's love without judgment, right? I mean, look at those two things. You can't have love with judgment, right? And you can't have trust with, like, you can't have patience without trust. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied. I fell asleep at like 9 o'clock, like on the couch, and woke up at like 3:42 and never went back to sleep. And it's like, I don't know, 7:30 or 8 in the morning now. Anyway, but you hear what I'm saying, right? Like, you can't have one without the other. It's like they go hand in hand. I used to say to my mom, I don't want it. She'd tell me I'd have to be patient. And I'm like, I don't want to be patient. And she said, or she'd say something like, don't pray for patience. I said something like that. And my mom said, don't pray for patience, because God will show you what patience means. You know what I mean? So interesting. Patience and trust. Let's see if they want me to read from the book. Is it in their greatest and highest good for me to read from the book for the tubular bells? Okay, they're telling me not to read from the book. I will say this, though. My eyes went to the bottom of the deck, and it's number 29, Blossom. And it says, the start of a fantastic new journey. So I do believe that once you transition out of the judgment and, thinking, I hate to say this, but the ego too, like thinking you know better, right? Like your hands on your hips, like, I know everything because I'm spiritual and I come from the heart. They're like, yes, but look at their eyes are closed. You need to open your eyes to everything, your third eye as well. When your eyes are shut, remember that your third eye is still open. So we love without judgment, and we have patience with ourselves and others, and trust that the divine timing will work itself out. And you will eventually blossom into exactly who you're supposed to be, but you need to let certain things go. And the House of Dragon, work with the dragon spirit medicine, because dragons do not have ego. That's their whole point. They don't have any ego. They just don't. It's not part of them. They don't come from that. They come from soul knowledge, and that's it. Ego is a very human thing. Some people think it goes beyond humanity, because obviously, we have other species here that are trying to take over. And again, that's part of the ego. So Earth must not be the only place where the ego is from, but wherever the dragons come from, which I believe is the angelic realm, and like where we come from, our divinity, ego doesn't exist. It's just something that is that's something that we wanted to investigate and put into, parts of consciousness and creation, parts of our consciousness through creation on Earth and other planets, yada, yada, yada. Like, whether people believe this or not, I definitely believe the sitting American president is like, I don't know if it's reptilian or like, but wherever he comes from, it's a very like me, mine, I'm going to take it. And it's like, but we're also, teaching them while they're here that they can't do that, So remember your divinity. If you found yourself here, whether, you're new or you're coming here for the first time, that we're not like everybody else, right? We're light workers, we're starseeds, we're earth angels. We look at things differently. And remember that when you're having those things encroach your thoughts, that's a very third dimensional earthbound energy. It's not really you. It's something you're working through. And most likely you're working through some type of old ancestral trauma or bond from your family's legacy. Because I feel that there are many of us that are here to be ancestral breakers as well. We're not just light workers or earth angels helping humanity. We're here in a much stronger divinity process of breaking these, because we're literally, when we do that, we break down our molecular structure as well. And so when we continue and have children, it's like that blood and bone, it's like we're correcting it through everybody. And it's not just through ourselves. I had a little girl say to me the other day, it was the most bizarre thing ever. We had this really cool conversation and she was so bright and so amazing. And I mean little, like maybe like between 5 and 7. I forgot how old she told me she was. But anyway, she asked me if I was a grandmother. And I was like, and I looked up at her grandpa who was, I'm going to be 54 in a few days. But, but her grandpa was in his 70s for sure. Like he was more like he could be my dad kind of thing. And I looked up at him and I go, whew, that hit hard. And he started laughing. He goes, I'm sorry. I go, no, it's okay. I said, no, I'm not a grandmother. I said, I'm not a mother either. And she's like, well, what do you mean? And at first I was like kind of upset and kind of sad about it. But then it was so cool because she said, oh, it just makes me sad. And I said, why? And she said, because you're so wonderful. And I feel like, she's like, how's your bloodline gonna like continue? Like, how will people, know about you or whatever? And I said, well, my siblings had children. I have nieces and nephews, and my nieces and nephews have had children. I'm a great aunt now. I said, isn't that cool? And she's like, oh yeah, that is pretty cool. I said, so like, I didn't want to tell her, oh, I donated my eggs to a family, so they had a baby. Like, I know that my DNA is out there actually somewhere, which is kind of interesting. I always hope that they find me because they can if they want to. But I digress. But it was just like such an interesting moment that I was like, that through this, I'm like, who told her this? Or like, how did she come to this? Or like, what happened? I even looked at him like, wow, like this is like a very intense conversation for such a small child. And he just like kind of shrugged. He goes, I know. And at one point she was talking to somebody else and I said, wow, she's like phenomenal. He goes, yeah, she's so special. We don't know what we did to deserve her, but she's really special. And he's like, she really took a liking to you. She's been talking, because they were going in and out of the laundromat, like they'd put stuff in and then go out and then come back in and do the dryer. And there's like stores around there. So I think they were shopping or whatever. So he was like, yeah, you really affected her. And I was like, well, she really affected me, So it's like, we never know like who we're going to change or what's going to happen. But we need to be open and not have any, judgment around it. It's like, if my first initial thing was like, oh wow, I must look old to her that I'm a grandmother, I'm like, yes, but she's such a small child that like I would look like a grandmother to her, even though I feel like I look young for my 50s, but to her that is like that could be a grandmother. Anyway, I don't know why, but I feel like that's at least for one person. So just have patience and trust that like things are going to work out for you, because I feel like some of you, I'll pull a card if you want me to. I feel like some of you are, or at least one person is like, I need another answer. I need another card. Here we go. Oh, number 30, snacks. Interesting. It says release judgments around food. So this could be for you too. Like maybe you're having maybe you don't look the way you used to look. Maybe you don't. There's this influencer that is new to my orbit. And I just assumed that's all the way she always looked. I don't care, she's a big, beautiful woman. I think she's gorgeous. I don't never you know, and I say that because she's talking about it, right? And then I go to look at her stuff and I'm like, wow. I'm like, holy crap. So she has kids. So I don't know if like she had kids and just gained weight. I don't know. And because I've been everything from a 00 to a 22, like all of my weight gains and weight losses were always due to some type of not feeling good enough about myself. Hearing somebody, you know, like one time I overheard a bunch of my guy friends talk about me and my one friend, and they were saying if they could put my face on her body, we'd be a perfect 10. And I remember like that stuck with me. We were in high school. We were like seniors in high school. And these were boys that were, I'd known since we were in junior high, you know, like we grew up together, very good friends. I never even knew that they looked at either one of us like that. But to hear it, you know, and to this day, they never knew that, as far as I remember. I don't remember saying anything to them. If I did, I don't remember. But, you know, it was kind of shocking. I was like, what the fuck? What? Like, why are you guys even talking about this? So I get it. You know, it's like we don't understand. But also releasing judgment around food. Maybe the holidays are here. You know, if you're watching this in real time, it's December 11th, 2025. Hanukkah is a few days away. You know, and then we've got, you know, Christmas, of course, and Yule and winter solstice, and then Kwanzaa, and you know what I mean? And some countries celebrate Christmas in January. So everything, there's just a lot of like festivities this time of year. People are celebrating. It's the end of the year, New Year's. I'm hearing, don't be hard on yourself. If you eat something and you don't feel good, then try and recreate that thing that you love with healthy ingredients. There's so many things online between, you know, the internet and YouTube and all these other, you know, apps or whatever. There's so many ways for you to find foods that you love that are healthy. Also, when I looked down, it was 121.01, which also comes out to the number 5. So you could be in like a period of transformation and flux, because also my eyes were drawn to the fact that like they're more of a round shape here and more of a lean shape here. And it could just be that maybe spirit is pushing you to just be a little healthier, because in the middle, it's all like you're all in your head. Do you see that? How they're all in their head? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Isn't that crazy? It just burned the card. But it didn't burn it. It's like, I feel like this is you. Oh my gosh. Why are you being so hard on yourself, my love? There's strawberries on there. There might be something with that. But I just wanted to show you, like, to have patience and trust. But I feel like you're getting way too much in your head. I mean, even down to, like, they have, like, striped leggings. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's time to change the color palette. Maybe it's time to change your hair. I just went from my natural color, which is like a very light brown, dark blonde, to like this electric dark purple, you know. I just needed a change. And you know what? I felt so good. I was like, holy shit, like I feel like me. I'm like, I feel like me. So maybe you just need a makeover. Did you see that little angel come in? Also, my eyes are being drawn to this labradorite back here and this selenite. So maybe you need some protection energy. I feel like somebody's like all up in your fucking grill. Tell them to go jump in a lake, as my mom would say. You know, like they don't need to, who cares what anybody thinks? You don't need to share. Oh, the light's changing by itself. You don't need to share your weight, or like, you know, because I've been all sizes, I know that, right? I've had people who are like, oh my gosh, you look so good. Where you're like, thanks, you know, or some people are like, hi, you know, and then I've even had people go so far to be like, are you okay? Because I gained weight. You know, it's like, I don't know, but remember that it's a projection, and they wanted me to bring your eyes to like this up here. Like you're part of the stars in the galaxy. This is the enchanted unicorn oracle. These are galactic unicorns, right? This is unicorn magic. You are magic. Don't let people's bullshit get all up in your fucking head. You know, like it's my mama bear coming out, right? I just want to protect you because I don't like that. I know what it feels like to have people judge you for who you are. And it's just such a shitty fucking feeling, because it's like, this is who I am. This is who I am. Even all your cards, when I add the numbers together, it's the number 5. It's just time for you to change. Get out of your head. Don't let others get into your head. And release judgment. You know, this could even be for one person. I feel like there's at least one person here. You have some serious judgment on yourself. I don't even think it's that you judge others, and maybe it's the whole reading. But I don't even feel like that you judge others. Like your heart is so big and pure for everybody else, but where is it for you? You're a dragon. This is the house of dragon. You're an epic, epic energy, an entity, and you didn't come here to play small. You came here to change the world. And remember that, like, every time we change, look at just changing a little bit. Look at how I changed that crystal. Look at how it looks different. Maybe it is something subtle. But your business is your business. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you were always thin and you've gotten bigger and you're like, I feel good like this. Then as long as you're healthy, I get from spirit, it's just about being healthy. You know, I've been watching way too many things recently and documentaries, and I'm getting to the point where, like, because I've been saying to spirit, I'm like, I'm going to fucking DC. Like, I need to do something. I can't just sit here or do like little whatever. I'm like, we need to change our food. When I was watching, like, the kind of pesticides that they put on food is so fucking sick, and it's disgusting that our own American government is killing us through every way they can, from our lotions to our food to our hair products, you name it, our shoes, our socks, putting chemicals in everything. So it's literally like killing us from the inside out and the outside in. And you know what I mean? And then we have to like pay them to heal us. And now they're fucking with our healthcare again. It's like, you know what? People are opening their eyes and they're seeing what's happening. And maybe this is happening in your culture or your country too. If this gets cut off, I just want you to know that I love you. Have a happy holiday. You can work with me one-on-one. My email address is magicalmedium@gmail.com. It's in the description box. Also, if it's in your wheelhouse to do so, I have got a new PayPal account. I have a Venmo, and I have an Amazon wish list. And also remember that prayer is free. All of that information is in the description box. It's about the exchange of energy. I didn't mean to get dark for a second, but I feel like, you know, I wanted to kind of come back to that and just say thank you guys. And I love you so much. And you're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. All is well. All is well. All is well. Keep telling yourself that. Say, I believe in magic and miracles. That is your new mantra. I believe in magic and miracles. I believe in magic and miracles. I trust you, Spirit. I trust in divine timing. I trust that everything is happening exactly as it's meant to. Release and let go. You know, when they say let go and let God, that's what they mean. Not like, don't do anything and God will, you know, it's like that old cartoon where like the person is, you know, in a flood and they're on the top of their house and a helicopter comes for them, a boat comes for them, and they end up drowning and they go to heaven, quote unquote, right? And they say, oh, Lord, why hast thou forsaken me, you know? And they're like, I tried to save you. I sent you a boat. I sent you a helicopter. You know what I mean? It's like, don't go into it blindly. You have to participate in your life. But there's, you know, there's certain things you cannot control. And that's when you say, I let go and I let God. Like, I let you go, Spirit. I let this, you know what I mean? I know that you have my back. But they're getting really serious about what we're putting in our body. So make sure, like, yeah, you could be eating strawberries, but they may look pretty from the grocery store. But remember, like, certain foods, I saw this thing that they did with Cheerios and Oreos, and just like how long it takes for things to disintegrate and these preservatives. And they're once in a while is not going to hurt you or kill your system. But if you're doing it every day and putting certain foods and oils and lotions on your body, like every fucking day, yes, it will build up. And I don't care what country you're in. If it's toxic, it's toxic. And Spirit's saying, like, you know, you need to know what's in your products. Find out where the farm is. Find out, you know, where this stuff is sourced from. It's happening globally. So, you know, and there, you know, people can have things shipped now. I was watching this thing with this guy from Ghana. He lives in the US now, but he was like, are you kidding? He's like, I grew up with all this stuff. And, you know, and he's like in his 40s. And the talk show host was like, you know, what do you mean if you were in Ghana? He's like, are you kidding? He's like, we've been having people coming over here for years, you know, like feeding us this, you know, crap and whatever. And what do? They send them shitty foods. They send them like, now they're having like one of the highest outbreaks of cancer in Africa, right? Because people are just giving them things, but they're like donating shitty things, right? So we need to be collectively responsible for what we're doing. And maybe this is for one of you because you want to do something different. You want to make a difference in the world. You don't have to have money to make a difference in the world. Use your mouthpiece. Use your dragon energy. Work with the dragon spirit because it called on you today. You are an epic source. It keeps going in and out, that light, and nothing has changed in here. But I feel like this is what Spirit's trying to show you. You're going to go through the darkness. You're going to go through the light. Just don't stay in the shadow. Work through it, cry, get through what you need to get through, and get back on fucking task, get back on track. But your health care and your self-care is the most important, because if, as RuPaul always says, if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anybody else? If you don't take care of yourself, how the hell are you going to take care of anybody else? Preach! Preach, Spirit, preach, woo! And when I looked up, it was 129:10. So I don't know if that means anything to anybody. Could be January 29th. It could be a birthday, and it could be, you know, remember 2026 is a 10 year, but 10, you take off the 0, it's a 1. So next year is going to be about endings and new beginnings. And once 2027 comes around, that's an 11 year. That's a double 1, right? Amplified. Did you see those? Did you see those spirits fly into the camera? Holy crap. It's no joke. We are here for it. We are here for it. Okay, Spirit, do we have any more messages or any more cards that we want to pull? Let me see. I feel like do we want to read anything else from the book before we end this? I feel like we may be ending on one last message. Do we have one last message? Nope. Like I said, all the information is in the description box. And I love you. I love you. I love you. You got this. You got this. We are here to support you. We are a tribe. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. And thank you to those of you who've sent me, I know you've sent me messages that packages are on the way. Thank you for the donation for my birthday yesterday. It saved me from going to the food bank. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If it's in your wheelhouse to do so, I'm always grateful, but it's never expected. And I mean it. Prayer is free. And remember that in my Amazon wish list, there are tons of decks. If there's a deck in there that you'd like us to use for 2026, send it my way. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. Blessed be. Aho. Bye.